They make up everything. Very good. Okay, our next speaker, Ms. Allison Olshove, will be speaking on ultrasound, sonar, and medical imaging.
Slideshow, the top. Go to slideshow. Top row. Top, very top bar. Nope, middle. Middle.
Sorry,
There you go.
I'm not really familiar with Mac. So my name is Allison Olshove, and I'll be talking to you about ultrasound, sonar, and medical imaging. So I'll include information on the history and evolution of sonar, ultrasound, and medical imaging, how they operate, so the physics and applications, and future technologies. So basic synopsis is sonar and ultrasound both transmit sound waves using transducers to produce images through energy conversion. So what is sound? It's a form of energy, and unlike light, it requires a medium to travel through. So the most common mediums are air and water. So the speed of sound in air is velocity equals 331 meters per second plus 0.6 t. And 0.6 is a constant for, So this is at standard temperature, which is 0 degrees Celsius. And so every degree that the temperature will increase, it will increase at 0.6 meters per second. So the basic way I can explain a sound wave to you is through the tuning fork. Tuning forks are used among musicians to tune instruments, and they all operate at different frequencies, so different pitches. And frequency is the number of times something repeats itself in one unit of time. So in this case, it's how many vibrations it makes in 1 second. So the sound waves, so you have your times here, and as they vibrate, they move in, and the air molecules are compressed here, and then they move out, and the air molecules are less dense. So if you can see in the sound wave, the peak is called the compression, and the trough is rarefaction. So dense, less dense. It would be easier to add later, I'm sorry. So the components of the wave. So I talked to you about frequency and compression and rarefaction. So next is wavelength. Wavelength is when the component of the wave repeats itself. So as you can see, the top of the wave, the peak to the next peak, is one wavelength. And amplitude is the distance that the wave reaches above or below the equilibrium. So there's 3 types of sound waves. There's audible, which is what we can hear. So our range of hearing is 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, and hertz is what frequency is measured in. And then there's infrasonic sound, which is below the human range of hearing. And that's anything below 20 hertz. And then there's ultrasonic, which is above our range of hearing, so above 20,000. An example of ultrasound is the dog whistle used for dogs. We can't hear it, and so it usually operates at about 28,000 hertz, and dogs can hear about 40,000 hertz greater than we can. The next example of animals that can hear ultrasound are bats. They actually use it to navigate. So what they do is they emit a frequency as low as 10,000 hertz to as high as 120,000 hertz, and they emit it, and it bounces off, and they wait for them to hear it again. So however long it took the sound to get back to them, they know how far away the object is, which is an insect. And so echolocation was discovered by Lazzaro Spallanzani in 1793. And what he did is he took some bats and he covered their eyes and realized that they weren't disoriented at all, and they could still navigate. And then when he covered their ears, he noticed that they were very disoriented and they couldn't operate. So, sound and water, early sonar. This man here is Daniel Claudin, and he was one of the to do an experiment on the speed of sound in water. So what he did was him and a colleague got set up on boats in the ocean. They set themselves 10 miles apart from each other, and this is called the underwater bell experiment, where one person ignited the bell with gunpowder, and then the other person timed how long it took for him to hear the sound after he saw the flash. And so in physics, velocity is distance over time. So here you have distance, which is 10 miles, over however long it took for him to hear it. But it gets a little more complicated because in fluid, you have to account for the bulk modulus and the density of the fluid that the sound wave travels through. So the bulk modulus is when something is completely immersed in fluid. For instance, the bell and the sound wave traveling through the water. So sonar stands for sound navigation and ranging. And so in 1915, the first passive sonar machine was created by Paul under the name of Mancini. And in 1916, the first working marine sonar system for the World War I was created because we needed to be able to detect enemy submarines. And then in 1918, active sonar was created, but it was just a little too late for World War I. So passive sonar is sonar that doesn't emit a sound. It just listens for things underneath the water, where active sonar is what we are more associated with today, where they use pinging. So that sends the ping and they listen for it and it transduces into an image. So the transducer is what does the energy conversion, and it emits and receives the sound. And the hydrophone is also what listens for it. It's just an underwater microphone. So there's two types of sonar. There's multi-beam and side scan. Multi-beam calculates the depth and it just listens. And side scan sonar pings and it creates images of anything that's on the ocean floor. And we can relate this to something that's going on today with the missing Malaysian flight. They used the bathymetric multi-beam sonar to calculate the depth of whatever area they're trying to sonify. And they're using side scan sonar to create images and listen for pings and whatnot. So they're kind of incorporating both right now. So there's two types. There's multi-beam, and it just creates multiple beams to sonify the area. And side scan is just off to one side, creating images. Alright, so ultrasound. It's used in the medical field. Diagnostic ultrasound operates in the megahertz, so millions of hertz. And compared to x-rays and CAT scans, it's completely safe because the sound waves are non-invasive to your body. So the first ultrasonic image was created in 1850, and it actually had to be done through water in order for the sound waves to travel. So the person was in bath. And that's the static image off to the left. And then in the 1970s, grayscale imaging was created, and now we have real-time imaging. And that machine over there is just the point-of-care ultrasonography. So it's what we use today. It's just easily transported and interpreted right next to you. So how does ultrasound work? Well, we know so far that it operates in the megahertz, so really high frequencies. And acoustic impedance is basically the media that it travels through. It's just the disturbance of molecules. So in this case, it's your tissues in your body. The transducer is the probe that's used in the area of focus. And inside the transducer are the piezoelectric crystals, which are what's doing the energy conversion. So the piezoelectric effect is the crystals. There's crystalline quartz and lead zirconate titanate. And what they do is they're dipolar molecules, and they twist and contort, and they create electricity. So as a transmitter of sound, the energy is being transformed from electric to mechanical, and then as a receiver of sound, the transducer is transducing it from mechanical back to electricity, and it forms an image. So overall, what happens in ultrasound is absorption. The tissues are absorbing the sound waves, and it creates an image, and so the darkness on the image those spots are considered anechoic, so there's nothing really to be seen. And then the bright spots, for instance, the baby, that's what you're looking for, and those are the tissues in the body being reflected back. And then the Doppler effect is also incorporated into sound, because it's sound waves. So basically, you can relate this to a traffic example, like when you're sitting in your car and you hear an ambulance coming towards you, the pitches are higher, which means so that's the frequency, and the wavelengths are shorter. And then as it moves past you, the pitch lowers, so the wavelengths are longer. All right, so we know that ultrasound is most commonly used in pregnancy. It's also used for therapy. High-intensity focused ultrasound can break down soft tissue. So if there's a soft tissue injury, it heals it quicker and it's non-invasive. And it's also used for deep vein thrombosis. So for instance, if you have a blood clot, you can get the high-intensity focused ultrasound to break down that thrombus and increase the blood flow. And so there's Doppler for veins, which is just ultrasound of the veins, and it can detect the presence or absence of flow, the velocity, and the direction. And it's detected by the movement of your red blood cells. All right, so X-rays are also a big part of medical imaging. It was invented by Wilhelm Röntgen of Germany in 1895, and what he was doing is he was experimenting with the cathode ray tube, and that was a really big deal for scientists at the time. And he noticed that this light was being created, and so he was really interested in that. So he spent like 7 weeks experimenting, and he pretty much laid out everything that we know about radiology today. So he discovered the X-ray, and that's in the picture over there. That's the first radiograph taken in December of 1895, and that's his wife's hand. And so X-rays are electromagnetic or ionizing radiation, and that's short, high-energy wavelengths, and they are not as nearly as safe as ultrasound because ionizing radiation, if you think back to chemistry, to ionize something is to gain or lose electrons. So basically, it disrupts your cells and mutates them, and that's how it can cause cancer. And over there, that's radiodermatitis, so that's severe radiation burns that they suffered back then because they didn't have the protection we have today, like the lead aprons, and they also spent hours underneath the X-light. So it's really dangerous. So there's physics in X-rays. We have the fundamental physics, we have mass, length, and time, and then those are derived into acceleration, velocity, force, power, and then there's the special radiologic quantities, which are the dose equivalent, radioactivity, so everything essential to radiology. And there's some new technology out. There's this probe that can detect any sort of deformities that, like within the first trimester. So if the woman decides she wants to terminate, or she can prepare for that. There's baby Doppler, which detects blood flow of the baby. So heart problems are detected early. There's also finger ultrasound. It's kind of the next step up from the fingerprint on the iPhone, where it detects the ultrasound of your finger, and it's completely unique to you. It can unlock your car and your home, all that stuff. SAS sonar is synthetic aperture sonar, and that's where it's a much higher resolution image for anything that's being insonified, and they incorporate different panes. And then there's that guy right there, that's Nick Fang. He is the head of the research department at the University of Illinois, and he created a cloaking device that can make things invisible to sonar, so they're not susceptible to sonar at all. They don't absorb it, they don't reflect it. Ballistics is the study of projectiles. There's interior and exterior. Interior is the expanding gases of the bullet as it's ignited and shot. Exterior is everything that happens after the bullet has been shot, the projectile trajectory. And so bullets are primarily lead, but nowadays they're jacketed, So they have a copper or steel alloy around them, which just protects the barrel of the gun. And so why are we talking about this? Well, medical imaging plays a role in forensics 406. And so x-rays are used, for broken bones, and they can find bullets in your body. So there's this new technology called multi-detector computed tomography, and it's an incorporation of x-ray and CAT scans. And it's a virtual autopsy, so the pathologist doesn't really have to dissect anything. They can see it virtually. And that was kind of implemented after 9/11. They used a lot of the trauma victims to do their research. And during this process, I actually interviewed an ultrasound technician, and I just asked her some questions, but basic synopsis. She was a nurse practitioner, and she went through 3 years of schooling. And the reason she picked the field was just to help make women more comfortable with gynecology and obstetrics. And those are my pictures. And okay, conclusion. So today I talked to you about the 3 types of sound. We have infrasonic, audible, and ultrasound. Ultrasound is used in the medical field, and sonar is for undersea and military work. I talked to you about how they're applied in physics, so speed of sound, Doppler effect, the wave, everything, and new developments for the future. Do I have any questions?